Property Lane, where it's everything real estate. Once again, my name is Catherine Nanteza and I'm your host tonight. And tonight we take time to look at how can you tell a real professional from a fake one? How can you tell a broker from one who is not? How can you tell a developer you can trust from the ones that if you're to buy from them, you should be asking more questions than you'd normally ask. Joining me tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than the CEO of the Association of Real Estate Agents Uganda. Introduce yourself.
Thank you, Kathy, for having me. My name is Linda Navaka.
Yeah.
And I'm the CEO for the Association of Real Estate Agents. I'm happy to be here. Yes.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, later on in the show, we will be joined by one of our developers. Well, I don't want to break that surprise for you. It's not someone, for those who have been following Property Lane, that is new, but they will be taking us through home ownership and all that to do with buying your first home, what you need to know. But for this particular moment, we would like to know, how do you tell a real professional from a fake one? You know, there are so many brokers, and some people have suffered in the hands of brokers. So we want to know, how do you tell that this is the right broker to work with?
Okay, with that, I would like to let everyone know that we have the Association of Real Estate Agents, which I represent.
Okay.
And this association brings together property practitioners.
Okay.
Now, what we do is to ensure that we are promoting best practices. For an agent that is not part of an association like that, you cannot trust to work with them. Why? Because they're not able to answer to anyone. So in a case where you're working with a broker that is not registered with an association like that, then you know you're at risk.
Okay.
You need to look out for someone who is part of an association. They know that they're answerable to someone at the end of the day in case they do any fraud kind of transactions. Two, you need to look out for an agent that has been trained by the association, because as the real estate sector, it has evolved from informal to now formal.
Okay.
We have different institutions that have come up training property brokers. So you need to look out for someone that has been trained.
Okay.
We have different courses under the Real Estate Institute of East Africa. And this institute has managed to train over 900 practitioners since 2009. So I believe that the people that have gone through our trainings are the right people to work with. They're professional, they're spot on, and you can trust them.
Wow. Professional and trust. That is something we are all looking for. Area has been around for some time. Is Area Uganda the only real estate association at the moment?
Yes, it is.
And
it is.
Yes. What have you done to contribute to regulating the sector? Because I know at the moment the real estate bill is still being discussed and yet to come out. So we do not have a law governing the real estate business. How is Area contributing to regulating the real estate environment?
Well, Area has put in a lot towards advocacy and lobbying for a good regulatory framework for this sector, because we think that that is the one thing that will help us organize the real estate sector. Why? Then we know who are the players in the sector, who we are working with, who is regulated and who is not. Because when someone has a license, you know you're dealing with someone that is highly professional. So Area has done a lot to push for this law, the real estate bill, with the Ministry of working with the Ministry of Lands and many other institutions to ensure that it comes in play, but it has delayed. Till now, they're still in discussions to see how this bill can be brought to life. But while that is on the side, Area has done a lot to see that the agents come together and we organize them within this association. We have registered them as professional real estate brokers. We have trained them And this ensures that now we are trying to regulate them within our association, even before they go out there to be regulated by the government.
So you have your own code of conduct?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So you're trying to say that anyone working with Area Uganda, we can be assured of best practice?
That is a very sure deal because first of all, they go through the registration process that is rigorous.
Okay.
What they do is that they apply to the association, then they're accepted, they pay their membership dues, and they get this training. They sign the code of conduct, which binds them to the association.
Okay.
And that ensures that now you're working with a professional. After this process of signing a code of conduct, then they're able to take the trainings.
Okay.
Now the trainings help them to get the knowledge of the real estate trends, how the real estate sector is happening or working. So that ensures that you're working with someone who knows or understands the sector and also what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. We have brokers that represent two parties. They're representing the buyer, they're representing the seller. We have brokers that are selling
What are you trying
properties.
to say? Is that okay?
No, it's not okay. What I'm trying to say is that these things that I'm talking about, like selling a property twice, double selling, or representation of two parties at the same time is not right. It's actually in our code of conduct. It's not right, and these are the things that we ensure that we are telling our brokers not to do. So when one comes and joins the association, it guarantees, or it gives you guarantee as a client out there that you are working with the right person, because this person has gone through
if
a
this
training.
person, defrauds me, or what happens if I have a problem with a property that was given to me by one of your brokers or taken to me by one of your brokers?
We've had a few incidences and they've been solved by the association, because as the association we have a legal team.
Okay.
And we have a disciplinary committee that handles our members. So if we have a client that is out there reporting to the association, we come in and mediate.
Okay.
We come in and mediate and we ensure that we get the issue done, see how to punish or put a sanction on our broker, and how we can help the client revive their money.
Happened?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. And we handled it very well. Yeah, I'll not mention who the client was and
you don't
what happened, but yes, it has happened. And we're able to deal with it very well. We handled the client and the real estate brokerage firm, and now they're okay. We managed to mediate that issue.
Okay, so are you telling me Area Uganda is just for professional brokers only, or are you with the whole sector? You know that the industry has developers, has contractors, has architects, and brokerage for a very long time has been done by lawyers. So who are the members of Area Uganda?
Well, the members of Area Uganda, yes, brokers. We have developers, we have property managers, we have consultants, and we have other associates. Now, the associates are the people that don't deal directly, they don't buy or sell land or develop projects directly, but they're in the value chain of real estate.
Okay.
They're also a part of us. Those include the banks, the education institutions, institutions like that. And then area is really wide. It's not just those kinds of people. We also have individuals that don't have companies but would wish to be part. So they join the association as individuals. Apparently we are really global as an association. We've signed very many MOUs with different organizations. We've signed an MOU with the National Association of Realtors in the US, and we want to bring those international opportunities closer to our members to see how they can work globally with the agents out there. We've signed an MOU with the Singaporeans. There's an association of estate agents in Singapore, and we hope that that can also bring in more opportunities to the members of the association.
Okay.
We have MOUs with the partners here in Kampala, like Habitat for Humanity, that we're also working with, and we hope so many good things can come out of that to ensure that the area members are benefiting.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those who have just joined us, we've been having a chat with the CEO of the Association of the Real Estate Agents of Uganda, the association that is leading the sector. When we come back, we are going to talk about home ownership. Very brief break. Once again, my name is Catherine Nanteza, your host tonight. And we come back with the topic as promised earlier. We will be discussing home ownership. There are many young people that approach me and they're asking, how do we own a home? Where are we supposed to live as young people? You know, there's all this confusion about buying your first home. As a young person who has just started working, a corporate, do you go and buy in Kasokoso or do you go and buy in Katosi? How do we live near Kampala and yet we are working within the city? How do you choose your first home? There is a guest tonight who started out as a broker and now is a developer. A very good story I would love to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me none other than Miss Annette Babigamba, commonly known as Babi. Yeah. Say hi to our guests.
Hello, good evening guests and viewers. Nice to connect tonight.
Yes, Babi. Tell us, I would love to know your story because I know many brokers would want to know how you flipped the coin. How did you come from being a broker to being a developer?
The story is so long, but to cut it short, I'm doing affordable housing and the need was there.
Okay.
So I met an investor who was doing affordable housing by then. I met him as a client by then, yes. Okay. I wanted to buy an apartment and then he saw the potential in me.
You came as a buyer.
I came as a buyer.
And you ended up being on the...
I became an agent and then I became a developer or a partner in
the same company?
In the same company.
Wow. We would love to know, because I know that many brokers think, you know how brokerage can be. Sometimes you spend months without making a sale. And then after making one sale, like how do you stay in this industry? Needs a lot of patience.
It's not about patience, it's about being very intentional with what you're doing.
Okay.
So I focused on affordable housing. So I didn't focus on either land or luxury or, you know, I was very intentional with affordable housing. And that's how you manage to break through. So the brokers out there, be intentional. Some are selling land, some are selling cars, some are selling, you know, everything. So you cannot identify with them. And then know the developers on the market.
Okay.
Get to know the developers, get to visit the projects, get to understand the project. Don't rely on the pictures sent by the developer. Go to the project and understand the project. That's how you break through.
Okay, now for the young people out there that want to buy their first home, what would your advice be? Do you advise them to come and buy in the city, or as most people say, go out of the city and buy a big chunk of land, maybe an acre or two? What is your opinion on that?
My opinion is always the same. Size is noise. So as a young person who is in the city, definitely you need to buy in the city.
Okay.
Because work is here in the city. You cannot work, for example, at post office. Okay, that is CBD. And then you want to stay 20 kilometers from the city. You are not making the economic sense. So you need to focus on buying closer to town. And that's why affordable housing has these locations, very affordable and very accessible. Yeah.
So, but how easy is it? Because buying in the city, most of these properties are like 50,000 and above US dollars, or I can say 190 and above, or 200. Like, where do you start from?
Yeah, it's not very cheap or not very affordable, but it is affordable and achievable. Because we are giving a very good payment plan, and that's why I keep saying affordable housing.
Okay.
Affordable housing, affordable housing, because we have tailored it down to affordability.
How affordable does it become?
Our least or our lowest cost house is 90 million Uganda shillings.
Wow.
And we don't want you to pay it at once.
Okay.
We take an installment of 5M Uganda shillings and then we spread it.
Okay.
It's customized, so we spread it into 3 to 4 years. Some of our projects have spread to 4 years.
Okay.
So if you break down the 90M, divide by about 48 months, I think someone can pull it off. Yeah,
wow.
Someone can pull it off. If we had to show you examples of our payment structures for different clients, you find a client sending 1 million, 1.5, 500,000, 800 shillings, 800, you know,
1,000.
800.
Really?
Yes.
That's like paying rent. Do you have any product that is on rent to own?
We have, but they are limited because the concept is to buy at off-plan when the project is starting. So by the time we finish building, most of the projects are sold out.
When do I take possession of
You take possession after we finish building and then when you have done 100%. But we have exceptions where customers do 50%.
Okay.
And then we give them rent to own.
Okay.
But that is on a limited projects, so it doesn't give. But we are thinking of a project, but when? I don't know, because we sell at off-plan. And at off-plan, we aim at selling 90% of the project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which locations and why? As Universal, what are the locations?
Universal, by the way, has the
chosen
best locations. Can you imagine we had a Kololo project where people think they are paying in dollars, but we are charging in Uganda shillings.
At how much?
The one bedroom was at 250,000.
Wow.
250 million Uganda shillings.
In Kololo?
Kololo.
Are they still available?
No, of course they are not.
Anyway, back to what you were saying.
The locations we have Nigeria, which is very common, and people identify with it, the young ones.
Okay.
We have the Naya Estates, which sells so well like hot cake. We've introduced Ntinda. We've introduced Mbuya. We have Miyenga. Then we have the Express Kajansi. Yeah, the Kajansi Mnyonyo Express Highway. Then we have, I think those are the
So
locations.
apart from your long-term, 4 years is too short for a real estate project.
I know.
How else can a young man own a property in Kampala?
We have a
here?
partnership with different banks.
Okay.
So we have MOUs with all the banks on the market. So a young person who is employed or who is having a business can approach their bank. The banks give 80%. Some people get 100%. Yeah, so everyone must own a home.
So if the bank gives you 100%, basing on what, by the way?
Basing on I think the job. That is for the bank to
assess and vet you and see what you can do.
Some jobs can qualify for 100%, the agreements, the contracts.
So if, for those that already have their homes and want to invest in real estate, which of the locations should they be buying from?
We actually have a lot of people who, their first homes were far, and now they are identifying with the affordable housing because of accessibility, because of security. You find they're actually staying in the apartments during the week. Okay. And on weekend they move to their dream homes or to their mansions. But our locations, we have Kololo, we have Ntinda, we have Naya, we have Nigeria, we have Mbuya, Kajansi, as I said. And then we are introducing a very exciting location, which I won't mention now, but it's one of the top 3 locations of Kampala. It's coming soon. It's coming soon? Yes, soon.
Yes, so you've talked about all these good locations and people who are even buying their second home or third home have come to your projects. But I'm asking if one is buying for investment, say in this project where we are, dear viewers, we are right here at Ruby and Falcon Homes.
Yes, Robin and Falcon.
Robin and Falcon Homes in Nigeria, a beautiful project that is ready for occupation. So we are asking, if someone was to buy an apartment here, in average, what would be rent for like a 3-bedroom?
Okay, this project has 240 homes only 240. And as you know, the statistics show that there is a housing deficit of...
It keeps changing. 2.4 now, they are saying 7 million.
So averagely like 600,000 units in Kampala. And we just have 240 units, about 48 one-bedrooms.
Okay.
I can assure you the next video we do, all the one-bedrooms will be booked for rent. So the rent...
Is it all sold out?
Yes, it's sold out.
Wow.
Yeah, it is sold out. So the one-bedrooms go for 1 million Uganda shillings. And then the 2-bedrooms are going for 1.5 and the 3s are going for 2.
Wow.
And the reason why, I think, because it's very accessible from...
yeah, it's right on the main road.
On the main road.
Yes, it's right on
so
the
that
main
makes
road.
it accessible and secure.
Yes.
Then we have a swimming pool right behind there.
Okay.
So the amenities here. So 1-bedrooms go for 1 million Uganda shillings, 2-bedrooms 1.5, and 3 for 2.5. So the investors out there shouldn't be worried because the demand is higher than what we have supplied.
Do you think Ugandans are now embracing the apartments? Because traditionally most Ugandans want to build and live alone and have their own compound, their own parking, their own play area. What has been your experience?
It hasn't been
Because I see many apartments coming up. I'm wondering.
It hasn't been so easy because the stereotype has been real. Like people don't appreciate the apartments.
Okay.
But in the last, I think, 5 years, yeah, things are good. People now want to live in apartments.
Okay.
Because on average per day you get so many calls of people wanting to buy. Yeah, you get so
even
many
when
calls,
you're sold out.
Even when, because we have different locations coming up. Some are still on construction, on foundations. So Ugandans actually don't have a problem living in apartments because they are renting them. All the 15 projects, I mean the 33 projects we've done, leave alone this one, they are all rented out.
Wow.
So if you can rent out an apartment, then you can stay in it, you can buy it, you can own it.
Do you hope to get out of Kampala and venture into the new cities that have come up like Mbale, Mbarara, Fort Portal, you know, these new cities?
Yeah, we have that question comes up. You know, people want us to go out, but the demand is still so huge here.
In the city?
In the city. I said these are only 240 apartments.
Okay.
Just 240. And this is even not, this is nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, this is nothing.
Yes. So to the young man out there, you have had, you don't need to go far from the city. You can come and live in the city, but the rent is still high. Should we be expecting some of your projects to be rentals, specifically to address the rent issue? Because right now the rent prices just keep going up, and I know it's very good for investment, but now to affordable housing, we don't all have to own.
No.
Do you also agree?
Yeah, I do.
So as Universal, are you coming up with a rent project?
Yeah, Universal is there to do different concepts, different, you know. So we have a concept that's coming up for rentals.
Where would that be?
I can't say it now because we're still in the early stages, but very soon it will be a very big city just for renting.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
Yes, apart from that, do you do joint ventures? Because we have many people who have land. Yes.
Yeah, we do encourage
and of late there are so many landowners who don't want to release their land but want to be part of a project. How does it work with Universal?
We actually have people who have approached us for joint ventures. There's a project we did in Nigeria. We did a joint venture.
Oh.
Yeah, some cash and some homes
were
taken by the owners. So we do joint ventures. Dear viewers, if you have land and you can't develop it, approach us. And then we see what to do.
Do you have specific locations you want for joint ventures, or any land, any size, anywhere?
The size we do 50 decimals and above.
Okay.
And then locations, we need locations that are prime, accessible, affordable, and with the high security, you know, area. So, And then we do research. When we are doing locations, we ask. We do research and ask people where they want to go next.
That is very, very good. Any other parting shots for our dear viewers? Do you have anything you feel you have left out?
Yeah, to our stakeholders, we thank you so much for being part of Affordable Housing Journey. Area Uganda, thank you so much, as always, Kathy. To the banker, the banks, there are so many stakeholders. There's government, there is Light, we have National Water, we have so many.
Okay.
And all I can say is thank you so much for trusting us to give you homes on, off plan. Even before we start building, you people are booking. This is amazing. So we thank you so much, and we want to let you know that our site visits are free of charge.
Thank you so much, our dear viewers and the Property Land Funds. We are right here at Rubin and Falcon in Nigeria, a project by Universal Multi-Purpose Enterprises. We will be bringing you more and more on property land to do with real estate trends. Stay tuned and see you next time.
The Property Lane.